I don't need to belabor this. There are many people my age or half my age who are far older than some of the what prevailing uh, experts. But I'd just say, that I have been beat up, run over by a car, uh, and other things. Most recently, black and blue after visiting a hospital in Alex City. And then all along, what continues in terms of basically uh, the frenzy of the vigilantes who think the internet is in the wrong hands, and um, they have repudiated some of the things that people have laid at their feet for their use, and they've gone after some of the new branded outfits, also laid at their feet, and then they seem to be like cattle. They figure they'd better be on the winning side, whether it's LSU or Alabama or the vigilantes or their imposters. Uh, and I have no axe to grind. I'm terribly disappointed because uh, now, unbeknownst to some, there is a war of words between the Kremlin and the U.S. and Ukraine. And I'm glad to say that the traffic between the principals is not too bad. But it's like, that situation that Kennedy got into, when he said, yes, I'll support arms to Israel, and the next thing you know, his death is blamed on Sirhan, who thought that Kennedy was his enemy, having emigrated to the U.S. and having seen his fortunes reduced. He was willing to make really just a gesture toward Kennedy's demise, when actually more people now are focused on a man who died fairly recently, not too recently, who most likely was the killer, because it's common knowledge that that same crowd made Sirhan take the fall for the killer, and things like that happen all the time. I mean, to be assaulted in a hospital, that's kind of rare, but not too long ago they had to uh, beef up security in hospitals because, sure enough, people would enter hospitals or schools. The unthinkable has happened. We've had people argue that, a sixth grade teacher somewhere should pack a revolver in her purse or in his briefcase uh, in a school. Others say no firearms within some sort of perimeter around schools, or maybe both. I have nothing to add to any of that. I'm very tired, and while all this is going on, uh, I think George Harrison wrote something about his weeping guitar. I don't really shed tears for the guilty, but shed tears for the innocent. And I wish that things had turned out differently in Alaska, because the two leaders did little more than conform to uh, conventional wisdom. And, I used to put that question about conventional wisdom to people. And, well, they really had no answer. There are a whole lot of people who wonder why things don't change for the better. Um, you know, now though, I have to acknowledge that there's too much that I disagree with for me to think that it could change in my lifetime. Maybe progress, but I haven't seen any. For example, if sometime soon they say we're going to do something about the mobile vote option, well, that would make me feel better, but there's no sign of that. I know it's inevitable, but there's no thought that that's going to happen in my lifetime, and that's just one example. Um, it is good, though, that the people of Alaska could host the world leaders, however briefly, uh, even though it wasn't a full-fledged meeting dedicated to the difficult issues and how they could be solved. It was more or less just really almost a tragedy, because innocent lives are still at stake around the world, and not only in the Middle East, as the two leaders knew full well when they met, as if the Ukraine problem is almost nothing. Well, it should be almost nothing to most people. You don't have to say get a life to most people while these people fly around the world. But they didn't do that. They just confirmed that they're looking at the same information with the same lack of interest.